guys, it's Alicia here from My Work Basket. I decided to try something kind of new with my videos, and I'm just going to sort of do a video log, a vlog of a project as I go. Hopefully I'll create a bunch of these, and I'm kind of trying to see how I like doing it, if I enjoy doing it or not. So for all I know, nobody will ever see this. Today I'm going to be sewing a doll dress. I'm going to do a fairly basic design, but I recently got a new set of sewing machine feet that includes a bunch that I'm hoping will kind of speed up the process and make certain parts a lot easier. So I'm going to be trying some new sewing machine feet. I'm going to be cutting out the fabric. I think the pattern I use is already cut out. And I'm just going to have you kind of follow along through the process as I go through my very messy classroom craft room to my equally messy sewing machine area. And then I'll also show you the finished result when I'm done. As I go, I might stop and kind of give you some different hints or dialogue, but mostly you're just going to get to see how things go as I work. All right, so most of my workspaces are shared. Technically, I have a craft room, finger quotes, but I also share it with my son. We homeschool, so it's also our classroom. So pretty much every project always starts with step one: clear the space to use for the purpose intended. Since I'm only doing a doll dress today, I shouldn't need a whole lot of space. And I'm very skilled at working in a small area because I've always been messy. So I'm only going to clear a small space to work in today. I'm going to pick some fabrics here off to the side. And I think I'm going to do this this print. And I'm just going to make a pretty simple dress for a Saucy Walker doll. I actually accidentally popped the arms off my Saucy Walker, so I won't be able to try the finished object on her until my restringing elastics come, which is supposed to be today or tomorrow. I came over to the side here where I keep my sewing patterns. Most of my patterns I organize into envelopes like that. So let's pull out the ones I need for this outfit. Recently, I got one of these multiple sewing machine feet sets. I've organized and sorted them into what I thought was useful. I've watched a bunch of videos on what some of the different ones are for that I wasn't familiar with. And I'm just going to do a quick dress to test out some of the feet and see how much they speed up the process. So what I'm planning to use is one of the Hemmer feet. I'm actually not sure which one is which. They were kind of non-specific. But I'm going to try a rolled hem foot today. I'm going to try the gathering foot today. I may try, I think I put it up here, a braiding foot. I actually saw some tips of that being really good for installing stretched elastic. And between those 3 feet and my regular standard foot that's already on the machine, I'm hoping it'll really speed up the process of making this dress. While I was cutting my fabric, I also went ahead and grabbed a pack of just white bias tape, just in case I decide I want it anywhere. I've sewn many doll dresses over the years, so I'm pretty familiar with the process. I'm not really going to be following any directions. I just kind of know what to do. And we'll see if the sewing machine feet help out any. I do have scrap fabric somewhere handy in case I decide to try anything out. Chances are I'll just wing it because that's the type of crazy crafter that I am. So first I'm going to use my standard foot and my standard doll sewing stitch, and I'm just going to do the collars. I'm not sure what the deal is there, although I did forget I need to change my sewing machine needle. I'm going to turn this off while I do that. Okay, so I have a brand new needle in my sewing machine, and let's try this again. I'm not one of those people who remembers to change my needle constantly, and it's been on my mind like the last several projects. What? Okay, so I have completely taken my machine apart right there. I noticed the most ridiculous issue. My buttonhole foot was about, my buttonhole sensor thing was about halfway down. I'm hoping that was the only problem because I didn't find anything else. So let's see if we can get to sewing. Okay, my tension looks good. Yep, everything is fixed. I do use extremely small stitches when I am doing doll clothes. The only problem I've noticed since my little issue is that my automatic needle threader isn't working quite right. Sometimes that happens, and after I sew for a while, it kind of resets itself. So I'm not too worried about that. I do have some crazy threads on the collar piece that got messed up, so let's trim those. And yes, I did use a giant pair of pinking shears to do that. Okay. Okay, let's do some seams on the bodice with the regular presser foot. I quickly learned that I'm going to have to practice that rolled hem foot like a lot. I was really struggling with that, as you will see very well. Guys, so I have to stop for the night and go cook dinner. Time got away from me, and I should have started dinner like 30 minutes ago. So besides the fact that there's much more of a learning curve for these feet than I expected, I'm really not very happy with my finished results so far. I feel like the seams, like the stitch size to make the feet work, makes a much lower quality product than what I usually make when I do everything from scratch. For example, the gathering foot, I have to widen my stitch so far. The stitches are so much larger than what I usually use when I do a gathering foot. And it also makes things a little bit more uneven. So I have to redo things like armhole seams because my pieces didn't line up well. So some of that might just be learning curve. Some of it's not. One of them appears to be on inside out. I've got to completely redo it. I thought I lined them up right, but all in all, my almost finished project isn't awful. It could certainly be better. I'm not very happy with it so far. I'll have to continue it tomorrow, and we'll see how it comes out when it's all said and done.